Unlock the hidden secrets and shocking value behind your old quarters. And the 1981 Roosevelt Dime. Discover how these coins could change your fortune overnight. Journey deep into the story of America's old quarters dollar coins, and the 1981 one dime, a tale so rich with history that it stretches back generations, holding secrets that could be sitting unnoticed in your pocket right now. When you look at a simple dime or quarter, you might think it is just loose change. But within that small piece of metal lies a world of economic shifts, national events, and hidden treasures that few truly understand. Our story starts with the very foundation of the American Mint, a system built to unify currency across the states back in the late 1700s, when the Coinage Act of 1792 laid the groundwork for our first official mint in Philadelphia. The quarters and dimes we know today evolved from those first silver coins. The early quarters, known as the draped bust and capped bust designs, were handcrafted by master engravers, each strike telling its own story. These coins traveled with pioneers across the expanding frontier. They witnessed the birth of railroads, survived civil wars, and saw the rise of industry. The quarter became a symbol of everyday transactions. Yet some quarters and dimes were struck under unique circumstances that make them rare. Today, take for instance the Standing Liberty quarters minted from 1916 to 1930. They carry tales of a changing nation, and their scarcity in high grades makes them highly sought after. Collectors know that coins like the 1932 D&S Washington quarters can bring thousands today, depending on condition moving forward. Through the decades, we see how the composition of coins changed. In response to economic challenges, the Coinage Act of 1965 removed silver from dimes and quarters, marking an end of an era. The 1981 Roosevelt Dime sits right in the middle of this new age of clad coinage. But do not be fooled into thinking these modern dimes hold no value. The truth is certain. Minting errors, off-center strikes, double dies, and full band details on the torch can make a 1981 dime worth far more than face value. In fact, some graded examples have sold for hundreds or even thousands at auction. The same goes for old quarters from the 60s and 70s, especially those with transitional errors or special mint sets. Now think about the stories behind these coins. Each one passed through countless hands, paying for gasoline, groceries, movies, coffee. Each one carrying tiny marks that are clues for collectors. The mint marks like D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, or S for San Francisco tell us where they were struck, and the tiny details in their design can reveal if they are a rare variation or common issue. The 1981 Roosevelt Dime, for example, had business strikes and proof strikes. Some proofs came from the San Francisco Mint with deep cameo contrast and mirror-like fields. These proof coins, if well preserved and graded by top companies like PCGS or NGC, can achieve impressive premiums. The same principle applies to old quarters. The state quarter program in the 1990s reignited public interest. But before that, the classic Washington quarters from the 1930s through the silver era and into clad compositions hold countless hidden gems. Collectors often look for die varieties like the 1934 double die obverse or the 1950 D over S mint mark errors. Imagine pulling one of those from a roll of old change that has been tucked away for decades. Many people do not realize how to identify these varieties. They overlook subtle doubling in letters, a slight misalignment, or a missing mint mark. Yet these minute details can change a coin's value dramatically. Think about the families who have held on to jars of quarters and dimes for generations, often unaware that within that jar may lie a coin that could pay for a car or even a house. The market for rare coins remains strong, driven by collectors, investors, and historians who understand that these small metal discs are more than currency. They are physical links to our shared past. Take a moment to picture the journey of a single 1981 dime minted in Philadelphia. It leaves the mint shiny and perfect. Then it goes into circulation, perhaps first used to buy a newspaper. Then it moves on, paying for a bus fare. Then it sits in a drawer forgotten until it finds its way to a coin roll hunter. Decades later, who spots the clear full band's detail that adds to its value? This is why coin hunting is so captivating. Every coin is a time capsule, a piece of art and history combined for those new to the hobby. Understanding grading is key. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to perfect mint state 70, and small differences can mean huge jumps in value. A 1981 dime in MS-65 with full bands can bring a surprising return compared to a worn circulated example. Similarly, a quarter with deep proof-like fields or rare error can change your collection forever. There are also stories of counterfeit coins and how the mint developed security measures over the years to protect the integrity of our coinage, from micro-reading on the edge to specific design features that make counterfeiting difficult. The quarter and dime both evolved to remain trustworthy as the decades rolled on. Collectors learned to spot real from fake using magnification, and modern technology. Coin shows, conventions, and auctions bring together enthusiasts from around the world. Many famous collections like the Eliasberg or Norweb collections have auctioned coins for record sums. These legendary coins often include pristine quarters and rare dimes, each with a provenance that tells us who owned them, when they changed hands, and what makes them so special. You might be wondering how to start if you have a jar of coins or an old box of change. The first step is to sort them by denomination, then by year and mint mark. Look for anything out of the ordinary. If you find a 1981 Roosevelt Dime, check. The torch bands, check for doubling, check. The mint mark, research recent auction prices on trusted sites like Heritage or Stax Bowers. Never clean your coins, because doing so destroys the original surface and can slash the value in half. Instead, handle them carefully, store them in protective flips or holders. And if you think you have something special, consider sending it for professional grading. The story of the quarter and dime is not just about metal. It is about people too. Countless lives have been touched by these coins, from mint workers to collectors to everyday Americans who unknowingly pass on a little piece of history with every transaction. Whether you're looking at an early silver quarter, a wartime dime, or a modern-clad piece, there is always a story waiting to be uncovered. That is the thrill of numismatics, and why channels like this one exist, to keep you informed, inspired, and always on the lookout for the next big discovery. So next time you check your pocket change, remember, you might be holding a rare piece of American history that links you to the past and could hold a fortune for your future. Keep hunting, keep learning, and keep the stories alive, because every old quarter and every 1981 dime has a story to tell, and that story might just change your life forever.